I don't want to give too much away, but Chester Draurz is well known to a lot of you because he is the owner of Chester's Barn and Grill. And lest we get confused, I did not say bar and grill, I said barn and grill, didn't I, Chester?
Well, there's a story behind that, boss, where, you know, growing up, we've had a family farm for generations, growing sewing machine oil. And so it didn't fare so well during the 1930s, the Depression. So what we did is we took the barn that was on the property and we converted that to the restaurant, and we got some nice tax credits as a result of that. So that's why it's the Barn and Grill. I actually came up with that myself. I'm that clever.
Well, I have a copy of the menu. Can you show the people that the most popular thing on your menu these days is the End Redfish. That's very distinctive. I don't know of anybody else that serves it.
Yeah, it's an interesting story again, boss. Again, we didn't have much money growing up, and my mom, God bless her soul, would cook us redfish, but she would always discard the back end of the redfish, as is customary. And so one day I was left outside, as I usually was, for most of the night with no food. So when they threw some of the back ends out, I had some spare sewing machine oil and a little sterno furnace. So I actually fried up the back end of the redfish in the sewing machine oil and added a little bit of seasoning. It's delicious, so it's our specialty.
Well, and before that, you still serve the wonton killers. That used to be your main attraction. I think the restaurant had a different name at the time.
Yeah, it was the, what was that? The MSG spot, that was it.
Okay. I can see why you might have modified that as time went by. Chester, you also are the head of a citizens commission. I'm looking at a picture of it now. Your annual report has a picture. The Citizens Commission on Accommodation Stations, and these stations look like giant tubes. I guess an ordinary sized person could stand up and walk around in one, but...
Yeah, well, I got that idea when I was in London for Queen Elizabeth's birth. I was actually, little known fact, I assisted the midwife, but I was fascinated by the London Tube, the very idea of the London Tube, and you could get around underneath. And so what I've done is I've built these tubes under cities now, so if citizens don't wish to get out in the humid, polluted air, they can just walk their dog through the tube and the whole 9 yards. So, every once in a while we have what we call an accommodation station within the tubes.
Very, very thoughtful of you. I have a copy of your recent book. So does my nephew. I think my niece also. You've written about restoring fish monuments for fun and profits, and my offspring, my relateds, have set up little hobby shops of their own to restore fish monuments.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a booming trend in the, I believe under one of the stimulus packages, there's going to be funds for restoring fish monuments throughout the country.
There's not that many left, I would think.
There's surprisingly more than you think, but they're in a state of disrepair, so I think it's important as part of the infrastructure repair that we repair our fish monuments. And profits are lagging a little bit, boss, but I think
well, they're lagging everywhere, aren't they, folks?